Brought to you at 7:20.
We're good? All right. Excuse me, folks. We're running a little late. Technical difficulties, but we are here with Josh Ackley. Thanks for showing up, man. Thanks for coming in and being patient. Like I said, man, we don't have a format. We don't have any set thing. So just tell us a little bit about yourself, man. What got you into music? What's your story, man?
Yeah, dude. So actually my older cousin, Tony Rochester, you might know him.
Yeah, I know Tony. Yeah.
So when I was a little kid, I watched him shred the guitar and I was like, I want one of those, you know? So my mom and dad got me a guitar for my 13th birthday. And then the rest was history. I never sang for a long time until I joined the Army.
All right.
I didn't think I could sing. And then we're like marching and belt and cadence. And I'm like, I can kind of carry a tune. So then I kind of brought that back home with guitar playing. And then good buddy of mine, Levi Jameson, he plays a lot of local gigs and stuff. I was sending him some videos of me playing and singing, you know, just kind of like testing the waters, like, am I going to be all right? He invited me to an open mic, and I played at Weasel Boy Brewery.
I've heard of that place. Yeah.
It was the coolest venue to this day I think I've ever played, dude. Like, even above all the Nashville places, like when you're sitting there playing, you've got distilleries.
Yeah.
Like you've got all the stuff behind you. It's really a cool setup. But
it's cool.
Played an open mic there, and then I booked my first gig, and I didn't even know how to play half the songs on the guitar. So I had a buddy of mine that I was in the guard with. He come and played guitar for me, and we played this little show at Baltic Mill Winery, and kind of just took off from there, man. And then it was like started playing gigs like every weekend. Just took off, started learning a bunch of stuff, started to grow, and then before you know it, it was like, we're doing this. I ended up in Nashville. I went down there and recorded some music at Curb Records and stuff, and it was a wild time getting to playing on Broadway, playing what's a place called Commodore Grill. It's like this little writers round that you could play. It was in a hotel.
Nice.
Like they've got live music at Taco Bell and
right,
it's everywhere. And then I played at the local down there and did that for a while. And then, yeah, man, it's kind of where it all took off.
Cool. Yeah. Me and the wife went to Nashville. Oh, it's been a few years ago. Just like a long weekend. And yeah, man, the guys on the street are phenomenal. You could never go in a bar and just walk up and down the street and listen to music, and they're just amazing. Yeah.
All 3 floors. Even like the homeless dude's like, you got $5 and he'll just play you a sick tune.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, man, everyone plays the same.
We went to Kid Rock's Steakhouse when we were down there. This is a cool story. I probably told it on here before, but we go, and every floor was a different kind of music. So it was like, you know, they had the hip hop floor, then they had, you know, all these different floors. So we go all the way to the top, and it's this rooftop restaurant. We're sitting there, and there's a band playing. We order food, and they take a little break. And when they come back, the guy's like, well, this one's for our drummer. He's from Coshocton, Ohio. And we're like, no way. So me and my buddy Mikey, we like jump up, start walking towards the stage, and he gets his driver's license out. He's like, you're never going to believe this, man. We're from Coshocton, Ohio. And he's like, oh, really? He's like, well, the bass player's from West Lafayette. And it's like, what's the odds of that? You know, I mean, we went all the way to Nashville, 8 hours away, 9 hours away to listen to a band that's like 7 miles up the road, you know.
That's cool, dude.
But yeah, cool town, man. Very, very cool town.
The actual studio drummer, there's a local guy, Evan Westney.
Yeah, I think that might have been one of the guys that we met.
Probably so. Well, it's one of his friends. I didn't know this. So he commented, he was like, that dude is playing studio drums like one of my best friends. I'm like, what are the chances of that? You know, he's a local dude. And one of his best friends was my drummer in the studio at Curb.
What I thought was really cool was like, well, we talked to them guys and they were like, hey, if you're not doing anything later on, man, he's like, my other band's playing at this bar. And then the guitar player's like, well, hey, if you guys get done after that, we're playing here. Like, they play all night long. And you could go and watch this, not the same group of guys, but say like the same 2 or 3 dudes playing 5 different kinds of bands. It was really cool. If you've never been there, even if I'm not a huge country music fan, but even if you're not at all, you should go to Nashville.
Oh,
it's just interesting.
When I was there, I met this dude named Noah, and like he was belting like Bon Scott. Like, dude, I'm just like, what's going on? You know, he was like, they think Nashville's just for country. He's like, yeah, we're not on that. They were playing like punk rock and stuff. It was cool, man.
Yeah, we stumbled into BB King's bar and grill and watched the blues, and I could have sat in there all night. Those guys were amazing.
I'm really just a sucker for any kind of music where we're playing real instruments, where it's just real
Right,
authentic music
right.
like that, dude.
Yeah.
And then those guys are able to bounce around and play like they do because of the number system. Have you ever dove into that at all?
I kind of know what you're talking
Dude,
about,
so
right?
like numbers, I didn't know anything until I started like, working for the church and doing that. And we started talking about numbers, and then like they play numbers there. That's how they were able to change keys so easy. And I was
Right.
like, I don't know. I know like what a G chord and a D.
Right, right.
I'm like, but I don't know the numbers. Well, then when you dive into like what the number system is, basically every song, it was created in Nashville. You can transpose to every key and play the same thing once you memorize what it is by shapes.
Right.
So like if you want to play like G shapes, if I wanted to play like a song that's in the key of A, instead of playing A, I would capo 2 and play a G.
Right,
So
right.
if you know how to play it in the key of G, you can play it in the key of A, C, F, whatever. You can just capo down the neck and play. So it was cool to like
very cool,
start to dive into that and see how you can change keys. And dude, it unlocks a whole new world. But that's how they're able to do that.
Right.
They'll learn the song like Wagon Wheel, for instance, and then if somebody's like, can we put that in the key of A? They know the numbers in their head. They're not thinking it's G, D, E minor, C. They're thinking it's 1, 5, 6 minor 4 in their head.
Right.
So if they know 1, 5, 6 minor 4, they can just move wherever and play it.
Oh my God. Super happy to be catching this. Miranda Ann. Well, thank you. You know Miranda Ann?
Miranda is one of those like diehard followers of mine on TikTok. She's there for everything, man.
Very
it's
cool.
Awesome. Yeah.
Very cool. It said Eep. Is that like an excited?
I think it's just a West Virginia thing, dude.
Yeah.
There's something in the water down there. No, Miranda, she's a trooper. She'll be sending this out to probably everybody and stuff.
Cool.
Do your thing, Miranda. Spread the love. Yeah, that's cool.
So what would you say are your musical influences? I know you like all kinds of stuff,
So like really one of my biggest ones that I think back to like just really good to having like that heart for guitar. One of my biggest and first influences is probably John Mayer.
Oh,
like that when he like Gravity and just come out with all that stuff where it was just wicked guitar player, kind of soft,
smooth.
And I was like, ooh, this is nice. And then I was into like Red Hot Chili Peppers for a while through high school, and especially that song like Snow. Just take off on the crazy guitar runs and things. And then I was exposed to a lot of different stuff, man. Like we used to listen to, my mom and I used to listen to Otis Redding.
Oh, right.
Sitting on the dock of the bay, just like vibing out to that. Leonard Skinner, of course, is like huge. I love like a lot of the Southern, anything, man, those were like the big ones that come to mind up front. But anything really where, like I said, it's just, you can hear the real raw instruments being played. Like I have a heart for just, I could sit and listen to like bluegrass music with no vocals.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I get
like
it. Yeah. Nick and I were talking from Obsidian Eyes. We're talking about like he likes certain classical music, and we were talking about if you think of music in terms of space to fill, like you and your guitar, you can only fill so much space, but when you add 27 different instruments and then vocals, and it's like you really make the most out of that space. So, dude,
it's cool. You know what? It's like a killer background space filler is piano pads.
Yeah.
If you can learn how to run like a piano pad, like so whatever song, whatever key the song's in, you could run like a if it's in key of G, you run a G pad. It's basically like a G note that just holds and runs nonstop.
Huh.
And if you stop playing, you can come back in, doodle around, and it's just humming a G the entire time you're playing. So that stuff's neat, man, for fillers.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you have a show coming up in December?
December 20th. It's a Saturday. We'll be here at Studio 117, and that's exciting. Maybe Miranda will show up there. She's talking about a group of we've got the Chatty. Shout out Chatty. His name's Chad, but he goes by his tag is hilarious. It's like, who's your Chatty? So it's old Chatty Jordan, but I met this dude on TikTok, and we kind of talked about that beforehand. It was really kind of crazy how it all happened. And we started jamming live on there together all the time and playing songs and pinging off each other. And we started tossing around the idea of, getting together and recording and doing some stuff. And a cousin of mine hopped in and was like, what do we got to do to get him here? Like, I want you guys to play a show together. So he started to really work and got a hold of Mickey. And
so where's he from?
Chatty?
Yeah.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I think he's around what's it called? Buck Creek. Johnny, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's Buck. It's something with a buck. I know that much.
It's probably a small
funny,
town if
it's Podunk,
yeah.
Pennsylvania, man. But yeah, so he's coming here in
Miranda
December.
Ann's back on it. She said, "I will absolutely be there, bud."
Yeah, so we're bringing some
The group
people.
is getting excited about it for sure. Well, cool. Thank you for the shout out. Yeah.
Yeah, there's quite a few people that are going to be here from that core. There's just some diehard people that are
nice.
You owe it all to. It makes you feel good. It's like
right,
you think you put out like I'll be live tonight, and these people look forward to hopping on and hanging out and just hearing you sing, hearing you play, talking with you.
Nice.
It's when you think about it, when you really like take it a level deeper. Like social media can sometimes blur your vision of reality. Like you sit and think like, oh man, these people are getting millions of likes. I've got like 300 likes on my post. And you might think like that's not much, but then you sit and think about it, 300 people.
Yeah,
if I was sitting in a bar and 300 people were in there and we were playing music, I'm going to be like, whoa.
Yeah.
So you kind of got to like bring yourself back to reality. But these core like 5 to 7 people that are across the country that are just waiting for you to go
that's cool.
live on the internet and play music and hang out with them. They look forward to that, day after day. It's like, that's kind of special,
I play with Facebook. I've messed with any of the other platforms. I have to ask my wife how to do certain things on Facebook. I'm just not tech savvy, man. I'm not. I try to be, but it's like algebra, man. It's like some people get it, some people don't.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah.
Well, dude, I'm right there with you. Like that's been my biggest hurdle. It was, we talked a little bit too. Like I transitioned from was playing in bars and playing out and stuff to my wife and I kind of got into church, and I started to volunteer on the worship team. And that's where a ton of development started to happen for me. I had a really great worship leader. And he just taught me a ton, like even singing, like I thought I could sing before. You heard me, in real time in the past, but it was like I learned how to sing, doing army cadence. So a lot of like distortion, growling in my voice. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
And he helped me clean that up, taught me harmonies. Like I could sing 3-part harmony and just learned, and even, unlocking the guitar and stuff. And it's like, man, that was like a crucial turning point in my musical career. And
I know as a vocalist, man, like I'm lucky enough to have great guys in the groups that I jam with, and we're open. Like if something don't work, man, they'll come up and be like, I don't know, man, like maybe try it and I'm always open to it because I'm not an expert. I just learned because nobody else would do it, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's nice to have somebody to show you some tricks and techniques that can get you more air or help you stay in key and keep you from reaching that threshold where you're it's like you're eating gravel, kind of thing. Yeah,
it's cool. And like even learning about changing the key of a song.
Right.
I always just try to play with whatever the original tune, like look up, like how do I play this song, and you guys even worse off. You're listening to the radio, strumming on one string to find the key and where learn how to play it by ear. Back then, it's like never been easier to become a musician.
Right. And we talk about that all the time, man.
Dude.
All the time.
Got a message from Dream.
What is that? Dreamer 444. Josh is the one who got me back into church. Very nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who that is, but that's amazing. And that's like, man, that stuff will make me emotional. I'll try not to choke up on that.
No,
but that's
you're fine, man. You're fine.
Dude,
that's
when
awesome.
you can like reach people. That's probably when you can reach people like that. And for me, I'm not one to push my faith, like force it on people.
Right.
Man, everyone's got their own beliefs and core beliefs, and I truly believe in what I believe. Like I'm 100% bought in. So to hear stuff like that, it makes
very cool.
Makes you a little choked up. But that's all through music, dude. Like I said, like even my influence in church, like when I first went, the worship team was like the best band I've ever seen in my life. I'm like, what is this? I'd never experienced. It wasn't like you go to church, it's like a little kid with your grandparents and they're just bopping with, little hymnal books.
Right.
And then I've got these guys like shredding lead. You know who Jason Pendola is?
Yeah.
Dude, he's like shredding lead guitar and singing, and there's like people just beating on drums, there's lights flashing. I was like, what is going on?
See, I'd probably get in trouble. Like, you guys know any Alice in Chains?
Yeah, dude, I make that joke, and that's where sometimes
today we're going to Rooster.
Man, so now like Sugar Creek, Ohio is like deep Amish roots, culture. So there's a lot of people who are uncultured in the most polite way. Like they have not been exposed to the world.
Oh, right.
So at times I have to check myself joking because I'll be like, this next song's Rooster at our rehearsal,
Right.
They're like Rooster and they're serious. Like, wait, I haven't heard that one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're uncultured, it's just Dude, it cracks me up. But yeah,
Right.
man, that's good stuff.
But that's good for you and it's good for them too, man. You know, it's
Yeah.
good for people to see
Oh, for
differences
sure.
with each other, you know.
Yeah, well, you think like up there too. It's been just, again, it's been the biggest blessing, but I'm kind of like the oddball that they needed, you know.
Right.
Like
right.
I'm the guy up there, it's just tattoos on his arms, you know, wearing jeans and a
Right.
t-shirt, leading worship on Sunday. It's just, but dude, it kind of opens the heart up a
Right,
little bit.
right.
It's honestly amazing. It's been such a good fit, and I got off track. You know, we started by talking about tech, and that's where we got. But that's because I took this musically more than capable. But I'm like we're setting up Pro Presenter, doing these slides, doing this, and what kind of cables do we need? I'm like, I have no
Right.
idea, dude.
Dr. Google.
Yeah, for real. I don't know the techie stuff, so I'm like the most untech savvy 29-year-old you ever meet. Like,
Right.
it's just.
I always joke around like I can hook up Fraser and I's PA, but I couldn't hook up the PA for the other band. For the Woofs, I would be lost. That's Shuddy's realm. I could probably do it, but by the time it would take me, he could probably do it 3 times. So it's just, you know,
Dude.
And everything has gotten so small, and it's like you used to have a whole van full of stuff. Now you can do it with like the stuff in a compact car. So.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It honestly is. Like, technology is wild. You even think about, they have guitars now that don't even have real strings on them.
Right.
Like,
yeah,
what?
I'm not interested though.
But that's what I'm saying. Technology is just crazy. Electric drum kits. I mean, you can get like a little drum pad and just tap and play drums on a little pad. Like these guys that are doing these one-man shows with a looping pedal.
Oh yeah.
Dude, those guys are talented, you know, given what they're using. But it's so cool. You look at like just how far things have come.
Right.
Even the AI stuff. Dude,
it's scary good. Yeah.
It's actually insane. Like the actual real vocals that you can pull, it's like, what is going on? Like, as a songwriter, you think about like, okay, so going to Nashville, go down there, record a song, and it's like $1,800 at the studio.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Or whatever. Some studios you're like 600 to 1,800, whatever range it is. But you think like if you're just a songwriter and you just want someone to cut your music, that's a lot of money to spend to hope on.
Right.
Now, though, if you take your lyrics and put them into AI and say, I want like raw, authentic vocals, kind of give me Texas country, a little bit of fiddle in there, you can just explain exactly what you want.
Right.
And AI is going to take your words and make you a radio-ready demo that you can pitch your music to artists now.
But wouldn't there be? I mean, I'm not debating you. I don't mean it that way, but it's for me, it would be like, but what do you do after the fact? Like, what do you do? Like, if you say you had AI generate this song and you even do the vocals on it, when you present that to somebody though, how do you reproduce it? You know what I mean? Like,
dude,
that would be the thing. Like, there's a lot of like TikTok and all these social platforms. They have a lot of musicians that are super good musicians, but it's like, how do you market that? You know what I mean? Like, how do you?
So my answer to that is like the amount of people, and I just recently started to learn this. You know, people can pick up and play by ear and play this and do these things, and so I didn't realize how for instance, I'm taking drum lessons, right? I'm learning how to play drums, so I can sit and pick out every individual part in time. So like if we're in like let's say whatever, you know, it's a eighth notes on the hi-hat, okay, which is your rhythm. So it's like a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. What we got?
She says,
Miranda. Yes, I agree, Miranda. Just
artists are greater than AI.
They are, and I wholeheartedly believe that.
Right.
But here's what I'm getting at. You can take that song and map it out, right? So if I hear the drums on an AI track and I'm like, okay, on the 1 and the 3, they're hitting a kick, and on the 2 and they're popping a snare or hitting hi-hats here, like you can map that out on a drum map sheet, and any experienced drummer is going to pick up and be able to play that.
Right.
Just like the guy playing the guitar, they can sit there and go down like I started learning how to do this. Like on my G string or my E string, top E string, I can play what note beds behind everything else on the neck. Okay,
right.
So now this is B. Say we're on B, so we're in the key of B. Okay, so where's my 1? What would this be? You can map it out. Those guys do that. Like even your own song. So I had an acoustic demo. I didn't have a full band to cut a demo to give the studio my track to record my song. I just had like, you know, typical 4 chords and me singing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I go in and they've got all this stuff written down and charted, and there's diamonds and everything on this paper. I'm like, I don't know what any of that is.
But when they're done, when you do that, they're like, you know, you and your guitar, you go in there and they put all all the polish on it and add the steel guitar and the,
Yeah.
but then like, how do you market that after the fact? You know what I mean? And I don't necessarily mean you. I just mean like say you're a budding musician and you put stuff out on YouTube and it's really good and it's you and you know you have all this equipment, you know, that's got the steel guitar already loaded and backing tracks and all, and you put it out and it's great. But what do you do if somebody's like, we want you to play a show? Or you know what I mean? Like how that would be like, oh, well, what do I do now? Is it just me and my laptop on stage, or?
Well, that's it. That or as you have a band, like you actually, like I was saying, like they would do this, so you just map it out.
Right.
So it's not like it's unreachable instrumentals or anything.
Yeah, I get that part. Yeah, you can have other musicians play what you recorded, but it would be.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. And it's like I get where you're coming from on that. But also on your end, as a songwriter, like this, that was speaking more on the end of songwriting, not so much pushing yourself as an artist with the AI demos, but as a songwriter, pitching your demos to
because you don't care how they do it as long as they buy the song.
So that's where it's at. So you'll use it. It's $10 a month for I like 10,000 songs. I'm not writing 10,000 songs a month,
right?
But I can get radio ready demos to send to artists to pitch to labels and whatever else to say, hey, here's a song I wrote. If someone's interested in a lot of people are doing it that way now because as a songwriter, is it feasible for me to go spend $600 to $1,800 to maybe have my song picked up?
Right.
Or is it going to be easier to spend $10 a month and pitch 17, 18 songs that otherwise have just been sitting on the shelf?
I had Bronson from the Filthy Heathens. He was on, and that's what he did in Nashville for a while. He just wrote songs and pitched them, you know, to different artists and made a living doing that. And then, you know, fell in with those guys over COVID and actually, you know, started playing and stuff. But I was just always kind of curious, like what would happen if you got noticed and they were just like, oh, well, man, you know, what, you have material? And you say, yeah, man, I got 40 songs. And they're like, well, can you know, then whoever that entity would be responsible for having a backing band for you, I imagine, right?
You would just have to put one together. Put a band together, yeah. Right, I mean, you put your band together and go with it. But a lot of that stuff too is still like playable acoustically,
right?
As I would play it. So if I need to play it my acoustic version, you're not gonna think of like the best thing I could think is like, you know, going back to country music. Scotty McCreery recently, he's got like that song 5 More Minutes. Huge, awesome, big sound on a track, but he played at CMA Fest by himself with his acoustic guitar. Right. It was incredible.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
most artists can adapt it, man. They really can. I mean, if you can hear Rebel yell and, you know, Shinedown do an acoustic version of Rebel Yell, then anything's possible, I suppose. You know? Yeah.
So there's ways that, I mean, you're never going to identical replicate it if that's what you're really trying to see, if you don't have the full band to do so. But the talent's out there. If you recognize that big at that point, you're going to go to Nashville and you're going to find any good drummer on Broadway that's ready to go on tour. That's how they like all those guys, man. Like in the wintertime, it's kind of they're all on stadium shows or they're touring through the summer. You find like Morgan Wallen's drummer could just be playing on Broadway one night. No one knows because who knows Morgan Wallen's drummer? You know what I'm saying? They're just musicians, man. They cycle through them. So.
You know he's using it trying to meet chicks. He's like, "Oh, I'm Morgan Wallen." They're like, "Yeah, right, buddy. Yeah,
yeah, I'll believe when I see it."
Yeah, and I'm Mick Fleetwood's drum tech.
Right. Yeah. Well, dude, that's like, it is. You get so many phonies. You know, like doing the TikTok live stuff. People will hop in there. It's like Luke Bryan. Oh, hey man, play one of my songs. I'm like, you play one, laughing like, okay, but then it's like Bailey Zimmerman, and the song "Rock in a Hard Place." You know, the guy that wrote that song actually popped in our live the other day, and he's like, "Hey, nice song. I wrote that." And we're like, "Okay, here's another phony account." Like, whatever. If it's well, hey man, if you wrote it, why don't you hop up and let's chat? And he's like, "Well, how do I do it?" So we invite the guy, and he hops in, and it's him.
Oh,
and I'm like, "You got to be kidding me! This is incredible." He played us. He sat and listened to us, let us play him a couple originals. We exchanged phone numbers, sent him some demos because he knows how to pitch.
Right.
And, he told us the backstory on "Rock in a Hard Place." He was like, this song. He's like, I met Bailey Zimmerman when he was still like in Illinois or wherever he's from. You know, he was like before he was big, and he was like, he heard that demo. I was like, man, I got to have that song. He's like, well, sign a record deal and you can have it. But right now, I just pitched it to Morgan Wallen. So he pitched that song to Morgan Wallen first, and to hear that kind of backstory was sweet.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah.
Well, then Bailey signed with Warner Records like a week later or something. He's like, all right, you can have it. So he cut it as his first big release, and then he just played us a song. with his acoustic guitar. The dude played a song. He's, I guess it's on Bailey's new album. It's not released yet, but one I wrote, and it was about a pickup truck or something. You know,
Right.
whatever,
Well, it's
but
country music.
country music, yeah. Pickup trucks, beer, women,
Right. Dirt roads.
mud, you know, all that good stuff. But yeah, man, it was so cool to like mingle with a guy like that. And I guess one of my favorite parts about when I went to Nashville, thinking about how much that city is insane, and anyone who has like an aspiring dream to go there and chase down a dream, do it, because the connections, just shake hands and kiss babies all the way up and down Broadway, dude. Like I had a week there. Like I was like, okay, I've got 1 week, and I have to do, what do I got to do to make it here, I guess, if you will. Like, it's not a lot of time. So like networking was the biggest thing. As soon as I found out what time the bands exchanged times, like, so they would play 4-hour sets and they would rotate. So I'm like, okay, so here's shift change for the bands. So I would make sure I was outside of a bar swapping business cards, phone numbers. Everyone uses Instagram there for whatever reason. They all network through Instagram. But man, I was just meeting as many people as I could, and you just want to get in rooms and write with people because they're all pitching their songs so big, and that's all it takes, man.
Right.
One hit and your life's changed. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
So networking and stuff. So that was the biggest thing. And writers rounds. Go and play your original music. You never know who's listening. Get a chance. Broadway is not like people think like, man, if I go there and I play on Broadway, Broadway's not going to make you famous. The writers rounds, being in those rooms, pitching songs and networking is what's going to get you to make it. It's not going and playing cover songs on Broadway.
So how do you get into the writers rounds?
Networking. That's it. Shaking hands. Like, hey man, and what do you got going on tomorrow? You know, any rounds in town? Just ask. So like for me, I was lucky. I had a guy who was managing me like for free. He just took me under his wing. His name's Wayne Clark. Super solid dude. He's from Maine of all places. And I got hooked up with him. This story is actually so crazy, which led to all of this. So this guy followed me on TikTok. It's like, hey man, I like your stuff. Like, we should write sometime. And I'm thinking, okay, you know. So I reach out to him. His kid's in Maine, just moved in Nashville, or was living in Texas. I don't, dude. He's full of crap, is what I'm getting.
Right.
He sent me a demo of him, like I was singing on stage with Riley Green, and it's the exact like recording of like a Vivo YouTube video of Riley Green doing that song. Like the crowd's cheering at the same second. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, I'm pretty sure you weren't there.
Right.
He like voiced over it, all this. So he just blew all the smoke, invited me to play this show in Skowhegan, Maine. So I'm like, okay, I want to come to Maine and play this show. And I took it, and then he was like, I'm under management with this dude, Wayne Clark, and these guys, Dave Gibson, and all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, that's cool. And I'm like, I mean, he was talented enough, but I'm like, humbly, if they're managing you, they'll definitely pick me up.
Right.
So I had the dude on Facebook.
Right.
I look him up, and he's like, don't mess with that kid. He's full of crap. Like, so I immediately like just had to drop out, cut ties with that dude. But I met Wayne through him. And Wayne's like, at first was like, yeah, just do this or that, you know, didn't give me much, didn't take me too seriously. And I'm like, hey man, I'm dedicated. I've got a little bit of cash saved up. I'm ready to come to Nashville, record music, like write songs. What do you want me to do? Like, I'm in. If you can help me, I'm there. And he was like, when I got there, he's like, I didn't think you were going to show up, dude. Like, you made it, so here we go.
All right.
So he actually manages Dave Gibson and Greg Crow. And again, these are people, you hear the names, you don't think anything, but they're Grammy nominated, several Billboard #1 hit songwriters.
Right.
Like the song Ships That Don't Come In by Joe Diffie. It's like a staple song in country music. Dave Gibson wrote it.
Right.
He's written so many songs. Like he has like these gold records on his wall in his living room. And it was the coolest thing because like I get down there, Wayne picks me up. I'm staying in this Airbnb. It's Greg Crow's garage, right? So I'm like, this is kind of crazy. He calls it the crow's nest, you know? So we're hanging out, and as soon as I touch boots on the ground, man, I'm sitting there writing music and like playing guitar with Greg Crow in this little shack in his garage.
Right.
I'm like, this is kind of really sweet, man.
Very
and then,
cool experience.
End up in, you know, Dave's house, which was just incredible. Like he just invites me in, we come hang out, we sit down, and then the song Here's to the Good Times, when I recorded and released, I had already written it. And I'm like, hey, what do you think about this song? And to write with someone like that, you learn that really quick, you just sit there and you shut up.
Right.
Like, so I sat down and I'm looking around his house and I start writing this song. And I'm like, so here's like, you know, what I had going on. He's like, hey, and he just starts playing and he's in the zone. He starts playing the guitar. I'm like, yeah, but I played it here. And he's like, yeah, I know how you did it, but let me make it better, you know, kind of. But then he just took off and he's like, all right, I got it. And he just plays this song. And I'm just like, dude.
You're like, yeah, that's it.
I said, I'm cutting that tomorrow. He's like, really? And he's stoked because you want people to cut the songs. I'm like, oh yeah, we're cutting that tomorrow. So then I get introduced to the guy who's doing all the audio engineering. And again, none of this is possible without Wayne. Wayne made all these contacts for me. He's like a cigar salesman, big, just like a lived in New York for a while, kind of got that mafia vibe.
Right,
he's like the big business guy, the big cigar, knows everybody. So he's getting me into all these rooms and stuff, man, where I wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it without him, seriously. And so we're going on, and I meet this guy, Jake Burns, and
Mike Markley, what's up, brothers? Great show.
hey,
I like your profile picture, man.
what a legend.
So that dog looks really intelligent.
But so anyway, Jake Burns is the audio engineer, and he's showing me like he's like I interned under James Stroud, and I'm like, none of these names make sense. So he starts like he's like, look us up on this. So we get on this website and pull up all their information. Dude, everything Chris Young, Toby Keith, Merle Haggard. I'm like, all these legends, right, have all worked with these guys. So he's like, I worked on all these albums. I worked with all these guys in the studio. He showed me pictures, and I'm just like, whoa, I think I'm in over my head.
Right.
Like I'm thinking I was going to be in someone's living room in Nashville recording some music. You know what I mean?
Right.
I didn't think like they sent me the address of the studio, and I'm like, this says Curb Records. Like this don't make sense. Like there's no way I'm going to Curb Records to record music. Dude, like Rodney Atkins is signed there, like Brett Eldridge, all the Chris Young, all these guys were like big country names, and I'm just like, there's no way. And I pull up, and he's like, yeah, come over to Studio B. And I'm just like, what is going on, dude? So I go in, and he's giving me a tour of Curb Records, and there's people in like, I don't know who was in there. Like, I have no idea who's in there, but there's people in like all these other booths recording and stuff. And I'm just like, this is insane.
That's very cool.
So I go in, and we sit down, and before we go in, so if you you remember the TV show Even Stevens, Shia LaBeouf, it was like on
I know what you're talking about, right?
So naturally, I mean, I was born in the 90s, so that was like popular, when I was a kid. They meet this dude, and he was like, you got to meet this guy, shake his hand. I'm like, okay. So I shake this guy's hand. He's like, Even Stevens, nice to meet you. I laughed at him. I'm like, yeah, what's your name? And he was like, not happy. He's like, Even Stevens. And I'm like, and Jake's looking at me like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, I thought he was joking.
Right.
And then he was like, you don't know who this is? I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't. He was like, song, oh, I love a rainy night.
Yeah.
He wrote it. He wrote that and a ton of other hits. So someone was cutting one of his songs, so he was down there, and I have no idea. So like the people you just run into on the street,
right.
And I'm thinking this dude's playing a prank on me, like Even Stevens. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Here you are, George Bush.
Yeah, no, seriously, it was kind of my response, and he was not happy with me. That's like, oops. So we go in the studio, and we cut my song, and it was just an incredible experience. And then another guy by the name of Win Varble comes in the door, and I'm like, Jake's like, you know who that is? No, I don't know who that is. Like, I don't know these songwriters. He was like, go talk to him. So that song, I'm a little more country than that. There's like, it's an old Easton Corbin song, and there's all these other songs. This dude's got like several Billboard #1 hits as a songwriter, and he was in there cutting. So I got to sit for like an hour while they're working on my song and just sit on the couch with this dude, pick his brain and talk to him about
That's awesome.
songwriting and stuff. So like the songwriting world, I realized really quick, like, I'm talented enough for what it is. I thank God every day for the gifts he's given me, but it's like, I'm not the most talented dude in the world, right? You know what
right.
I'm saying? Like,
right. It kind of humbles you a little bit,
yeah.
right?
But then I realized, like, wait a minute, I am a really great songwriter. So like on that end of things, you look back at like being good at poetry and just different things and writing. Like writing music is something I've always been passionate about. I'm like, maybe this is the route I want to take. So I really started looking into that instead of like being performing. Dude, I've got a wife, I've got kids
right.
that are like elementary age.
Right. A tour is probably not in the works, right?
No, I'm not going on tour.
Right.
It's not really healthy for me to be in the bar every weekend playing shows. So she's, home with the kids on a Saturday night, and I'm out just tearing it up in some hole in the wall somewhere. Right. You know what I mean? And it's just like, man, maybe I need to start really looking into this songwriting thing. So that's kind of where my journey has been. And then, that's why it was causing some tension and stuff a little bit for a while, being in the bar every weekend, as well. I mean,
right.
I was playing out nonstop, dude. I was constantly playing shows, especially when I got home. I was on this big push, and I kind of took a step back, and then that's when we started to go to church and play there and develop. So, I mean, the whole journey has just been incredible. And, I mean, it's honestly crazy to sit and I tell people sometimes, we're just touching the surface a little bit of some of the stuff that went on in Nashville, like some of the rooms I was in. And I'm like, if I was anyone else, like, if I was listening to this dude tell me this and be like, you're full of yourself. But that's what that city is.
Right.
Like when Jake's like, that microphone you're singing into is the only one Merle Haggard would use. Like I got it from James Stroud, and I'm like, you're kidding me, dude. So he's showing me pictures. He's got like his documentation on his microphone. He's like when he said, when I retire, like that's going to end up in a museum.
Oh, I'm sure.
That microphone's going to go in a museum. James gifted it to me. I couldn't believe it. Something about that specific mic. And he was like, so yeah, everything Chris Young recorded was into that. Everything this person. And then he did Toby Keith, Greg. They all worked on that. Right before Toby Keith died, he was like producing some stuff for people. And they all got a picture with him. He sang into that microphone.
Wow.
Willie Nelson. And it, like even Jelly Roll. So this guy that I was working with, he was like, you know, if you hear stuff on CMA, it was like their live recording or whatever of this. He was like, you know, man, Jelly sounded like he was really on that night. He's like, it's because he comes in here and we fix it and we put it out with a live recording.
Right.
He said it's not really like a live recording of his vocal.
Are we still supposed to call him Jelly Roll because he's skinny now? Like he's not fat.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Maybe he's Slim Jim now.
Yeah,
I don't know what to call him.
Yeah.
Jelly Bean.
Jelly Light.
Yeah, Jelly
sugar-free jelly.
But the dude, it was like cool to see where he worked all that stuff and was telling me all those stories. And I'm like, man, little old me from Coshocton, Ohio, is in here adding my spit to this legendary microphone.
Right.
Like, put my name on a list of artists and be like, who's that guy?
Right.
But it's cool though, you know what
Yeah,
I mean? I remember that was like one thing that just hit me hard. I'm like, man, you're actually like doing this right now, and it's just unbelievable. So I'm in there like not trying to be creepy, but I'm just like taking.
Right.
Dave's like, yeah, I gotta take a leak, man, and hurry. Like, look at this on his wall. You know, you might be a weirdo, but at the same time, you're like, I want to soak this in.
You got to kind of fanboy out, man. It's a once in a lifetime thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, truly, and it's so humbling to be around the caliber of people. But then when you hear the stories coming out of Nashville, everything's more believable now.
Right.
Like when you go and
makes sense. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, like I can see it. Like, and I was there for a week, and I got to do all this. I can't imagine what people living there get to do, and the kind of doors that opens, man. It's actually crazy. You know, and like it's kind of cool to see what's happening for y'all now. You've been playing music for how long, and get to open shows, you know, for big names with the Rock of Shock and stuff. And like, and even not to put you in, you're the host, but to put you in a hot seat a little bit. What's that been like for you guys? It's got to be incredible, like fulfilling. You know,
I'm telling you, man, the Rock of Shockton gig was the biggest stage, the biggest sound system I've ever been a part of, man. And like, it sounds cliche and everything, but like, you feel the earth move when the bass would hit or the drums would hit. It was just. It's like I got goosebumps just thinking about it. It's just better than anything I've ever done, better than any place I've ever played. And the guys with the crew were amazing. I mean, they're treating us like we're a national act to the point where when we're done, you know, the guys in, I think it was them Dirty Roses were like asking Frazier, like, oh, well, where are you guys headed next? We're like, probably back to Ricky's basement, man. You know, like,
right.
You know,
Yeah.
But it's for me, I don't take compliments well. I just don't, you know, I learned how to sing in key because nobody else wanted to do it. But when I get compliments from, you know, guys like that, I do appreciate it. I don't just blow it off. I mean, it does sink in, but it's just, I'm grateful for the opportunity. And Mickey, he came out to a practice and he was like, I want you guys to play. I think it would be cool. And of course we bid on it. And then the Saving Abel gig, it was kind of, I think they talked to Mickey, and Mickey said that if they wanted an open air, he had one, and they kind of Mickey told him what we do, and then they were like, yeah, get them guys. So we were lucky enough to do. It's just like you said, everything just kind of falls into place. And with those two things, and with, you know, just because, you know, Mickey knows us and Mickey's seen us play, we've played in here, and you know, he feels confident enough that if he tries to pimp us out a little bit, they're not going to be disappointed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not, you know, I mean, pat myself on the back, but yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, you guys are talented. For sure.
You know, you get what you get with us. You know what I mean? We're not Van Halen, and we're not, you know, Morgan Wallen, but you know, my quote is, man, like, we don't blow the roof off, but we'll loosen a few shingles.
I love that. I mean? Dude, I love that. That's like the most humble way of saying we rock, but we're not.
We're just here to have fun, man. We don't try to. It ain't a pissing contest, man. For us, we don't care. We played, like I said, we played a party last weekend. It was great. The people were amazing. Had killer pork sandwiches. I mean, what else can you ask for?
Right?
You know?
Yeah, dude. Free food was like my favorite.
Yeah. That's like, you know, I like the bands with Rock of Shock, and they all have a rider. You know, like, we need this many Diet Cokes and this much water and this much fresh fruit, and this is what this guy eats. And when it comes to us, it's like, where's the bottled water? And if you could throw in like a pizza, we would be happy. You know what I mean?
The pizza statement's my favorite because I played at this winery. I got banned from this winery, dude. Oh, this
What'd
is a
you
whole,
do to get
this
banned
is-
from? Because in my head, I'm thinking like Ravens Glen, like
It wasn't Ravens Glen.
Oh,
They
okay.
love me, right? I can't. Honestly, it's a winery in Killbuck. I can't remember the name. I got banned like the day after I played there. I'm like, what the heck, So I go and play, and one of their things was a free pizza. Like whoever's playing for them, they got a free pizza. I'm like, oh, sick, dude. I'm in. So I'm like eating pizza on break and stuff. I'm like, this is a bad idea, but so good. Killer pizza. Shout out to them, by the way. I can't remember the name of the business.
even though they banned you.
Even though they banned me, right? The
Your
pizza,
pizza
is
kicks
good.
ass. Yeah.
Well, dude, I like sometimes you ever just kind of play like a little lick to a song and see if people recognize it, just being silly, and
Yeah,
like
we've
sometimes
goofed
I'll
around.
just goof
Yeah,
around a
cat
little
scratch
bit between-
fever or something. Yeah,
and people are like, oh, it's like just kidding, you know what I mean?
right.
So I started playing the riff to "She Hates Me." Mud.
Oh, yeah.
So I started jamming "She Hates Me" a little bit, and I'm just teasing around, and everyone's like, "Oh, play it." And I was like, "You guys gonna get me kicked out of here? I'm not playing that way.
Right.
We're at a winery. It's not like we're at a bar on Saturday night where the people were sitting there eating dinner and listening."
Yeah,
to
right.
So I'm like, "Are you?" And everyone, dude, they're getting rowdy. They're like, "We want to hear it. We want it." It wasn't like there was a ton of people really left in there, just kind of my people that come to watch me. And I'm like, "All right, we're gonna do it. If I get banned, I get banned." I didn't think it would actually kick me out for it. So I mean, I went all in. I belted it. It wasn't like it was like we're doing it. You know what I mean? So I started jamming this song, and it gets through. Even the lady working was like, "That was awesome,"
Right.
Like, cool,
right.
that was fun, And so, anyways, the next day she's like, "Yeah, all those." So she booked me like for once a month for a year. At
Oh,
the end of the night, like it was good. It went well.
right.
And then she messaged me next day. Yeah, the owner went back and listened to you, and he was like, "You're never allowed to play here again."
Was
I'm
it?
like,
See, that
"What?"
song even rings more true because she does fucking hate you.
Dude,
She
it's
banned
like, what's
you,
going?
yeah.
It's like, what is up with that? Why are you gonna? I don't know, man. Whoever the manager was a dude, so he hates me. But
Yeah,
it's
he
like,
effing hates you.
it's like, come on, dude, are you kidding me? Like, I thought that was, but that's kind of a fun story to tell too. Like just watch what you play out. I guess know your audience.
Right.
I thought we were good. The audience was fine. It was
See,
the owner.
we do it, but we kind of do it a little bit more covertly. Like we'll play some songs, that people know and they recognize, but then we'll finish the night out with like Regulator by Clutch. Like I'm pretty sure we're the only people that's ever played Clutch at Ravens Glen. Shout out to Ravens Glen anyway.
Yeah, they're awesome.
But they, the midway through their linguini, they're like, huh? Yeah, it turned a few heads. And not, I won't say in a negative way, but there was little to no response at the end.
Like you guys have been
You
out
can-
there some of my Ravens Glen shows even, and it's like
Yeah.
I'm playing Rooster and stuff. Dude.
Right.
Like, bro, it is what it is. It's your set list. They know what you're getting into when
Yeah.
they book you. You know what
Well,
I mean?
and if you've played there once, then they definitely know what they're getting. So the second time, it's not like you have a completely different set list. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I don't mind those gigs, but what I learned is from going from a full band and being loud and in your face, and you have to kind of pay attention to background music was, and not that I think I'm a rock star. I don't mean it that way, but it's like, it was weird because we would finish a song and we were thinking, man, that sounded really cool. And it's like the sound of one hand clapping. You know what I mean? It's just like
Dude,
crickets.
It is.
And you're like,
humbling.
what the hell did we do wrong? And it's like, and after a while, you're thinking, well, maybe it ain't us. Maybe they just ain't paying attention. So then I would say something goofy and would get no response. Like I'd say, oh, hey man, is this a crowd or is it an oil painting? And then nothing. It's just like, okay, well, then we relaxed. We were like, you know what? We'll just play whatever we want to play, man, because they're not paying attention anyway. We're competing with the special of the day and, Italian wedding soup and some guy's garlic bread. And, you know what I mean? So, hey, we'll sneak Clutch and Rooster in there, or we'll play some Candlebox and just enjoy your dinner. And
Dude, I love when you guys play that song.
it's a lot of fun. It just, it's weird being background music. It's just really weird.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It sucks, especially like coming off of a high, like being in Nashville, and my manager pushed that thing, and I still, I'm not gonna lie, I use it to this day because it works. It draws people. He was like, come here, record music, and get the title of like a Nashville recording artist,
Right.
because then people hear that and they're like, oh man, like they think you lived there forever and did this and that,
Right.
So it's like just a marketing thing.
It wouldn't work for us because when I was in the band, when we did record, we recorded in West Lafayette. That's not a big sell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
American
West-
recording artist.
Yeah. United States recording artist. Well, we can say, you know, West Lafayette recording artist, and
Run it. You know what I mean?
yeah, people don't know
something-
where West Lafayette is.
It's something about just Nashville, man.
But you're
that does
right.
something
Yeah,
to
you're right.
people.
Absolutely right. The
And,
marketing part.
But to do that and have all the hype and just kind of be on top of your game. I remember my first show back, I had a pretty decent amount of people kind of showed up, but it was like that at times. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be this hot ticket item right now, and people are like talking loud enough that I can hear them everybody singing. So what's going on? Like, they're like, shh, you know, we're talking. They're like shushing you. And it's just like, what's going on? You know, like
I was talking about Mickey, man, and I was watching YouTube reels because I like to rot the rest of my brain out. And there was one where it was this guy and this other guy, and they're playing acoustic. And he's finally, the guy just stops and he's like, hey, man, he's like, in the nicest possible way, could you shut the bleep up? And he was like, we've been up here, man. We're really trying to put on a show, and all these people are, you know, and he kind of laid it out for him. And I was just thinking, I would love to do that sometimes. But then again, it's like, you know what, man, that might be the only night that guy gets to take his wife out to dinner all month long, and I'm not going to piss on their party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll sit there, I'll play my music, man. I get paid no matter if you're paying attention or not. So once I did that, I was like, but secretly, you know, it's like when you work in retail, you want to tell somebody, you know, where to put it, kind of a thing.
Yeah. No,
But,
I
yeah.
get that, dude. Like, I remember watching the video of Aaron Lewis walking out. On the crowd.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm not telling you again to shut up. You hear the crowd fight with each other. He's like, all right, I'm done. So he just walks off stage. And it's just like,
I think that's, I don't really agree with that, man, because if it was me and I had, you know, like I said, that might be the only time me and Wendy can get away and go to see Aaron Lewis, and then he dicks out and leaves, and we're like,
oh, dude, yeah, that sucks.
you know,
yeah, I wouldn't be happy either.
yeah, I mean, you know what, man, you play your songs, dude. You know what I mean?
The other 90% of people are listening to you.
Right.
It's like, yeah.
Don't let the one dipshit ruin it for everybody. You know what I mean?
Nope. Yeah, dude, I agree with you there. That's the thing of it. It's just like, man, so many times there's like, thinking about being background noise. I remember being in like Atlanta. My wife and I went to Atlanta, Georgia, and in the hotel, they would hire people just to be background noise. I'm like, there would almost be a piece to that.
All right.
The guy's not singing at all. He just plays a little drum track and he just ripping on his acoustic guitar, just finger picking.
Yeah.
For like 2 hours. I'm like, that's no one's paying any attention to that dude.
Right.
It's just live hotel lobby music.
Yeah.
Like literally. I'm like, that was almost
in Vegas. It was that way, man. You'd walk into a casino, man. There'd just be some dude in a tuxedo just playing the piano, man. Just kind of real soft. And, you know, people would walk up and say, hey, can you play this? And he'd play it. Like he knew everything because he's a Vegas piano player. You know what I mean? And he had his tip thing and he just sat there and, you know, people were kind of congregating around him and then they'd walk away. And it was literally like elevator music, but it was live elevator music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the best way to put it.
It was cool. I mean, it was better than elevator music. At least you could watch the guy do it and appreciate his talent. You know what I mean? Because you can actually physically watch the guy play and stuff. It was pretty cool.
What sucks about that, though, is like there's that piece of that, but then when you're playing like original music or playing covers and you're just feeling like you're killing it and you're just in the background killing it, you know, it's like, man, no one paid attention and I went high for y'all and you didn't even listen to me. It sucks, dude. I played to a crowd of just my wife and my 2 kids one night. And I was in Columbus and one buddy brought one of his friends. Dude, it was like what's that guy that was running for office? Blystone, Joe Blystone, cowboy hat dude.
Oh, right.
He owned just like farmhouse, restaurant, whatever up there, and I got booked to go play there in Columbus. So I'm driving all the way there. They didn't promote the show at all. I'm like, yo, I'm not from here.
Right.
Like, you kind of got to push something out. No one's going to drive from Coshocton when I'm going to play at Ravens Glen next weekend. They're going to catch me next weekend.
Right.
Like, you got to push it a little bit. And I give them everything to do it, and they didn't. So there was nobody there. Like, and you talk about like an awkward night to where I think that's maybe the longest break I've ever taken. And I mean, I'm one that like, if I don't have to take a break, I won't. I'll try to keep playing because if you have that crowd engagement, you almost can't break from it.
Right.
The minute you do, you try to come back and regain.
You don't build that momentum up again, right?
So you got to keep a hold of it. So like, if I have that, I'll keep a hold. But I took a break and I started talking to my buddy. I bet I sat there for 30 minutes, dude.
Right.
I was just like, ladies kind of looking at me, but I'm like, I mean, what do you really want me to do? You
right.
know what I mean?
They can't all be home runs. You know what I mean? And but like with me and Frazier, man, we just look at it like this weekend. You know, it's the guy that threw the birthday party. It was his birthday. He enjoyed us. He thanked us, you know, numerous times. Thanks for doing it, man. We appreciate it. And that's all we care about, man. Then it was just like, well, what do you want to play? We don't have to worry about, engaging anyone. If, like you said, if you got the energy level way up here and you're playing a Skinner song, you can't drop off into something sappy because you'll lose everybody. You know what I mean? So we didn't have, once you remove that from the equation, it's fun. I mean, it's fun anyway, but it's just like, you can be aloof. It doesn't really matter what we play, man. And we've embraced that. We've become, like, we joke around and say, if you want to have a really tight gig, just have everybody turn their backs and not pay attention, because then we'll nail every stop.
Yeah.
We'll nail every, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, as soon as you get everybody's attention, and then it's like, I'll forget a verse, or, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Dude, it's like, you realize, like, when you said something about you can't go from Skinner to something sappy, you realize the importance of the order of your set list.
Right.
Dude, and then it got so much to the point that I was like, I'll play like a couple bangers to get everyone's attention and then play some of this. And it's like, oops, I got them excited right now, and I can't not keep delivering the rest of the show like this. So then, but you also don't want to. So, I mean, set lists, I mean, that's a whole nother world of struggle. That's like half your battle is knowing what to play, because you got to, one, know your audience, who's going to be there, but two, it's like you've got to play stuff that is actually going to keep people engaged the entire time.
But if they're not engaged, if they're not going to be engaged to begin with, it's great.
Right.
And that's the way we approach it, even if they are, honestly, because it's like we said, you can feel them. You mean, if people are up there and they are paying attention and you see some heads nodding, you kind of want to keep those heads nodding. So you know what I mean? But we found out that when people are engaged and we do that, we get just the same response. You know what I mean? It's kind of, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but you understand what I'm saying. Like, you get to a point where it's like, whether there's 30 people or 3 people, we're going to give the same show.
That's where, what's the name of that guy? Cody Jinks. I saw a post he said one night. He was like, I showed up to a bar to play a show and I just started tearing it up. He said there was not a single soul there but the owner of the bar. He said, I tore it up like there was 100 people. The guy told me to go home, and I said, no, you booked me for 3 hours. I'm playing 3 hours. So he stayed there and tore it up, and the guy finally just gave the check and said, look, man, you don't got to do this.
And there's no pressure. That's why, you know what I mean? There's no pressure. You don't have to worry about impressing nobody. You can play what you want to play, and you should be that way anyway, but we both know that doesn't work out all the time. You have to kind of.
And there's always that little bit of nerves, and you're starting to feel the pressure of being up in front. You're like, okay, you want to put on a good show. You want to deliver. People have higher expectations of you because they've seen you on your best. And you're like, you might be having an off day. Like, okay, people already know what I'm capable of, and I'm not feeling that. There's just all those things. But I think it all boils down to just your energy. Even if your talent's not there, dude, look at like Tim McGraw or Kenny Chesney, right? Like some of those guys, you hear them live, they aren't the best vocalists out there, but they were huge. Why? Because they're entertaining the whole time, man. They're keeping you engaged. Or you're a fun act to watch because you're almost like a musician and a comedian. Like you wear 2 hats, the whole time.
It comes out of nervousness, man. It comes out of nervousness.
But it's so fun. It sets the crowd up to, dude, you loosen everyone up. It's just
I've got to shut up once I get nervous. That's
No, man, it's nice. I remember the first time hearing you sing. It was at Jay and Stacy's place. Everyone was kind of messing around, and you start singing "Rooster" of all songs. It was out, and we were all just jamming in the garage.
At Mark's. That's where it was.
Wasn't it Mark's? I thought it was the Stacy and Jay's. Maybe.
I think that's the first time that I heard you play was out at Stacy and Jay's, because you jammed. We jammed, and then you played, and you just sat at like the bar with no mic or anything. Yeah.
Then everyone that was out there singing "What's Up."
What's going on? Yeah, I remember that.
That's what was getting everyone fired up. But man, that's been a cool journey. You really, when we met, it's been a couple years now.
Right.
But I was just kind of diving into that musical journey, so you've got to kind of watch all that unfold.
That's cool, man. I dig it.
And then hearing about I was talking with Tony. He'd heard I was going to be on here chatting with you tonight. He was like, man, I can remember back when I had Cop Out. We would play with your band and stuff, and I was like, that's neat.
Those guys were a lot of fun, man. They got us in the corner bar up in Millersburg, and that was a hard sell because we're like Millersburg. They're like, yeah, man, they're starving for bands. They want something different, and
a bunch of Amish in there.
That's what we're thinking. We're like, I don't know, man. We'll try it, and we got a great response, man. The people that owned the bar were super cool. So then we would try to book up there maybe once a month, and sometimes Cop Out would come in and open up for us, and then sometimes we would open up for them. And those great bunch of guys, man. I still see Rich on Facebook, Rich Rittenauer, I think is his name.
I don't even
One of the
know.
guitar. I don't know if they play or anything anymore, I guess. But I see him on Facebook occasionally.
Tony also is, like towards the end of me playing bar shows and stuff, he was playing with me.
Right.
And Blake, we had Blake playing the cajon and stuff. So we had like a 3-piece acoustic thing rocking for a while, playing a bunch of stuff at Buckeye Lake. Almost every weekend we were,
Right.
It was crazy for a minute. We were driving up there constantly to the new bar on Buckeye Lake. But then Tony kind of went into like ministry, dude. Like he got into this program and did this discipleship training, and now he's doing the same thing as me. He's playing at the church.
Nice.
He's got a regular 9 to 5. He doesn't do it for a career, but he's into the church world, and that's like, dude, I'm like, if you just the talent, it's like being in that. I'm like, how are you guys not famous? Some of these people that you're around, I'm like, you want to be humbled by vocalists or just musicians in general, go to a local church and listen to a worship band one weekend. Even again, if that's not your heart, again, I'm not pushing this on you at all by any means. I hope it doesn't come across that way. But just from a music standpoint, just to listen to bands play, like you appreciate music, like even like New Point Coshocton.
Well, I was just getting ready to say, I know Jay Cattell.
Yeah,
that Jay, he's a great guitar player, man. Cool guy too. Great guy. Shout out to Jay.
But,
I guess I always ask a question on here. If you had the choice between a superpower of flight or invisibility, what would you choose and why? And then the third part of the question, I understand you're involved with the ministry, but would you use your power for good or evil? Evil doesn't mean like satanic evil. It can be mischievous. We've kind of came to that conclusion, but it's just easier to say good or evil.
So I've always been on the side of, that's like one of the best questions ever. I've always been on the side of flight. I think flying would just be so sweet, man. Like, and honestly, almost for like the selfish reason of like commuting and stuff.
Everybody says that.
Dude,
everybody says that.
It's like, man, I don't have to wait in line for nothing. I can fly. Imagine like the search and rescue. If you wanted to go like super good at, what are you going to do? Have you seen that? I always said, did you see that suit that they built now? Mm-hmm. Dude, there's like they're scaling mountains with them for search and rescue. Like if someone's like on a mountainside and it'll take like 45 minutes to get to them hiking or on a 4-wheeler, they've got these wingsuits with like jet propellers on them now, and they can fly up the mountainside in like 3 minutes.
Wow,
it's incredible. So yeah, there's that. I guess you could almost here soon anything's possible. Right. We may just be flying, but yeah, flight for sure. But then that mischievous side comes out where you wish you could be invisible, just walk around messing with people.
Right.
Yeah,
there's that too. Rob Banks.
Yeah, be the loaded rich.
Right. Hang out with Jelly Roll.
He wouldn't know.
Or sugar-free jelly or whatever he is now.
Sugar-free jelly, yeah. Yep.
Jelly lights.
Jello.
Jello.
He lost the R and the L's. He's just Jello now.
He's just Yeah. Well, the guy from the Filthy Heathens had a very good point when he said he would harness the power of flight. And I bring this up every time because I just think it's brilliant. He said that he would pick flight because technically you could fly so high you would be invisible. So you could use both superpowers.
Oof. He's got it.
Yeah, that was a pretty good question.
You wouldn't want
pretty good answer.
You wouldn't get the easy invisibility like you would want it, though, if you were to want the, you know what I'm saying?
But then if you were invisible, you could get on an airplane and you can technically fly.
See?
Yeah.
Two sides of that coin.
Yeah.
I'm a deer hunter. I don't know why I wouldn't pick invisibility.
Yeah, that would be great.
I kept changing my answer, dude.
The deer's like, I know I smell deodorant somewhere, man.
That's it.
Right.
Good luck, dude. Walk right up on them.
Right.
Dude, what about you? Where do you stand on that?
I picked invisibility and I picked evil. I would play pranks on people. I would hide things from them. I would eavesdrop. All the bad shit, man. I would do it. Dude, but I wouldn't hurt anyone. You know what I mean? Like I would, I might, hide somebody's keys or something and then put them in the dryer. Or
invisibility would be useless in today's world with all the thermal stuff. You're not invisible in a thermal camera.
Yeah, but not a lot of people have that. Not everybody's predator.
Could you imagine like creeping in on like a White House conversation?
Well, that's what another guy that was on here, Jeff Criswell, said that. He's like, I want to get like the straight dirt on stuff. I could like eavesdrop and find out whether these guys are full of shit or they're on the level. So I guess either way, but yeah, mine would just be mischievous, man. It's just too much fun, dude.
It would be fun.
Scare people, not old people. I don't want to kill anyone, but like, just fun stuff. You know what I mean? And then I would tell like Bobby so he could tape it, and then we could, put it on the podcast and get more hits.
Yeah,
well, Josh, thank you for coming in with us, man,
Yeah,
and bullshitting and sharing your story. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
When's your show at the studio?
We're here December 20th, Saturday, December 20th, 8 to 11 p.m.
Cool.
Studio 117.
Cool.
Making our debut here.
It's a cool spot, man. It's a really cool vibe. You get out there and dim the lights, and it's really cool, man.
Well, it seems like it almost forces people to be engaged because it's like a music lounge.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
they'll still ignore you. No, just kidding.
But well, I mean, it seems you're up close, your personal people are there.
Yeah, it's
more
intimate.
of an
That's
intimate
what.
feel.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the last one you guys had to move next door.
Yeah, for the guy from Saving Abel. That
big
was
deal.
cool.
That was cool, man. Yep.
Those are great guys too, man. Super nice, man. Everybody in the band was cool. It was odd for me because, I'm a musician, but I sell welding supplies. You know what I mean? So when I was talking to them guys and they were asking me like, oh, well, what about this? I was like, man, I'm not that guy. I'm not like a real musician, and I hope you don't tell anyone. But yeah, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, Bobby, for getting everything figured out for us. Shout out to Bobby.
Yeah.
You guys have any shows coming up?
We've got one this coming Tuesday in Cleveland.
Tuesday in Cleveland. If you happen to be in Cleveland on Tuesday,
Bands.
go get your face melted.
That's right.
Yeah. Play the heavy stuff.
Right. If even if it's not your thing, you got to check out Six Deep, man. Anybody that's listening, check it out. They're cool. The production is what blew me away, man. Like it's cool. And I keep saying that I'm not a death metal fan, but I'm finding more and more about it, which this podcast has helped me too, because I love music and I love all kinds of music, and I like to broaden my horizons. So you're the first country guy that we've had on, because we went like down a river of death metal, which is great because I learned a lot from that too. So. But yeah, thanks, Josh. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for watching.